forward to some more good matches of Star Realms. It's going to be awesome.
Last couple of rounds are pretty exciting. Hopefully this round will be just as good.
Yes, I imagine it will be, because now we're continuing to get into the so there's a Swiss, right? And as you get matched up, as you continue to win matches, you're matched up against people who are of the same record or something similar. So we're getting into people who have won 2 or 1 match.
Yeah, this round we're going to have a 2-win player versus a 2-win player and a 2-win player versus a 1-win player.
Yes, yeah.
So we're getting into people with wins who've proven that they're ready to play today.
Right, yeah. And it's going to be good. What's your rank these days? 50? 40?
20.
20?
Yeah.
Oh, no big deal. Okay,
Yeah.
So just 20 on the lifetime.
No, it's very exciting. I recently passed the cutter. I haven't discussed it with him today.
That's okay.
Exciting.
Not today. Yeah, sure. But you can drop that on him right before like an epic qualifier or one of the rounds. And just think about that for a little bit. Yeah. So we're gonna have Alex Sarkissian, who is SilentAl in the app. For those of you who have played against him, a great player, 2-0 versus Adam Charbonneau. I'm not aware of what his IGN is,
but he's 2-0 today.
But he's 2-0, and that's what matters.
He's worth being on camera for that alone.
Yep. And we are going to be playing Colony Wars again. We got a lot of Colony Wars, which is great. And this trade row is absolutely nuts. We got a Factory World and a record.
I love this trade row. This is totally my style. I love playing blue-red.
Yes, yeah. You're known to buy a base or two.
Yeah.
So this is actually the first time with the game starting that
it's interesting. He must not like blue because he did not take the Solar Skiff there, because he could take the Solar Skiff and potentially get something else to come up. And worst case scenario, he's denying a quality 1-cost card to his opponent.
Exactly.
But now his opponent could buy that plus something else.
And he goes for the Falcon.
Wow.
These
players don't like the trade fetish.
They do not like Solar Skiff. I don't know what it is about the Solar Skiff, but
wow, let me in there.
With a Factory World and a Wrecker, you would think that they would just want to be going for Solar Skiff and get this trade.
But clearly now, if you didn't like the blue, maybe you take the Cargo Pod
You'd have to take
or you take them both. Or yeah,
there it is.
You've got the Factory World to build up to, the Wrecker.
Right. And for those who don't know,
he not going to he didn't take the Solar Skiff?
They just don't like the Solar Skiff. I don't know what it is.
But there's beautiful blue bases.
He's going to take Central Station, I bet. Yeah, he takes the Central Station.
Sure, that's fine. But now he's got to take the Solar Skiff because he took a blue card, right?
Please. Okay, finally, it gets some love.
Okay,
I
guess I'm obviously cheering for Al now.
Oh, jeez.
I love me some Solar Skiff, and I can't stand that disrespect.
Right. So we got the Repair Bot out here. The Repair Bot is my card rival, if you will. It will come up in my first draw every single time. So
now he's taking
going to take the Solar Skiff. He'll take it after the Repair Bot.
Is it possible he just didn't know he could take it the turn before? That can't be right.
No, there's no way. There's absolutely no way.
Weird.
They're both 2-0. I'd be really curious. Right. They have a strategy in mind for skipping that skiff. It may just be not wasting the trade. Maybe they didn't like the idea of wasting the trade.
All right.
Emperor's Dreadnought comes down here. So that's going to be a direct into hand for a yellow.
He's got 3 options. He can go for Explorers to try and build the Factory World. He can take that and maybe get rid of the Factory World before his opponent can buy it.
Yep.
Or he could have gone with the scrapping.
Yeah.
But I think that's a pretty reasonable choice because now he can say, well, I'm not going to bother the expensive cards and I'm not going to let my opponent have them either. Although his opponent's going to get one right now.
Yep.
He can take the Factory World, which...
Is it the with scrap though? Is it the Wrecker or is it the Factory World?
Take the Factory World and then you can buy the scrap right in your hand later.
Especially because
I love Factory World.
I think that's the right play, especially because he just took a Ravager. So even with the Ravager in play, if he's getting rid of cards on the trade row, Factory World's still getting value because you can still choose from whatever he gets rid of.
Right.
Get the value early. So even if he does, and so it's worth noting too, Al took a Falcon first buy.
Right.
That was instead of 2 Explorers. I think he had 4 trade, and he took the Falcon instead. This is factioning.
No, he had 3 because he had the 2 Vipers.
Oh, that's right, because he did have 2 Vipers.
That's why he didn't take the Solar Skiff that time.
Because that could have been Solar Skiff and Explorer, really. But anyway.
But now he can take the 7 because it got left with the Factory World there.
Oh, wow. So we have Wrecker. So the Wrecker and the Factory World are going to survive enough.
Right. So both players have a really amazing, expensive card in their deck now.
Yes.
So we'll see whether the Wrecker or the Factory World has a bigger influence on the outcome of this game now.
Now, I don't know what damage Adam has taken as far as the Central Station is concerned.
Yeah, that might be sitting around for a turn.
So he just took the Lancer, but that's in the discard. It's got to shuffle in after the discard and then get drawn.
Oh, that Central Station's going to stay around for another turn.
I think so, yeah. Repair Bot on first draw. Can we just make that comment real quick? I just got to toss it out there. Every time I have the ability to toss it out there, the Repair Bot and I are just not friends. Other people seem to be much more friendly.
See, the Solar Skiff's doing some work here. Got used 2 turns in a row.
Wow. And he gets enough for the Emperor's Dreadnought buy. Only 1 damage. What a huge buy, though.
But now he's got 2 heavy hitter ships in his deck.
Mm-hmm. And gets rid of for the fact just too late. But Stealth Tower. Stealth Tower.
That would be sweet.
Do it.
He's doing it.
Come on, Adam. Yes.
And now he could copy it and use it to maybe get some combat to get rid of the central station.
Oh, there you go.
He's going to draw off his solar skiff.
There we go.
Wait, he's not drawing off it? Oh, it's because now he can wait.
Right. Yeah, he's going to wait. He's going to use it. Now he's got a lot of draw. He's got 4 damage. He needs 1 more. He actually does need another damage.
But he's going to draw 2 cards at least.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was a scout.
Oh,
there it is. Okay. Central Station almost actually staying alive, even with a Factory World and a Stealth Tower out there.
Yeah, Al had a couple of real nice turns there, but Adam's suddenly in a pretty commanding position, at least for the moment.
Right. Now Alex has damage. He's going to
have the Wrecker in his hand, which would help.
Correct. Bingo. So he's with Emperor's Dreadnought too. So he's looking to play as quick down to a drawing red yellow. Hit deck as fast as possible. But can he get through this? Factory World's just going to keep doing work.
And he's already got Al below 40.
Right.
And he's got a decent amount of green in his deck now, so he can do some hitting. Plus, he's got the heavy cruiser. Mm-hmm. Well, he loves himself some Falcon.
Yeah, 2 Falcons now, and the
and at least he did get some damage, so the Factory World's going to go away. The question is, will there be something to copy with the Stealth Tower? It could the Stealth Tower could whiff.
Another Lancer comes up. What's the last card in Al's hand here? It is a Viper. That's not going to help. So it gets rid of that. He needs to play a base.
Let's see if there's a base.
Doesn't look like it. Stealth Tower's
he's got to draw off of his Predator.
Yes, yeah. I'm not sure if he took another base. I think he only had the Factory World and the Stealth Tower.
I think you're right.
So 43 to 39. Trade Row is staying pretty cheap, but there's some very valuable damage. Convoy Bot's good. The Lancer's good. Starbarge, even. A lot of people in Colony Wars take Starbarge late because the faction ability is 2 damage plus the target discard. If you have other... you
got a lot of yellow. It's sweet even in the late game.
Yeah. Really good early card. But yeah, even viable late game. Gets rid of the Convoy Bot. Interesting. I thought he would have wanted to draw first and maybe take the Convoy Bot if he's able to get something.
Yeah,
can we talk about the Repair Bot coming in with nothing to it? The scrapping it. Can we mention that one more time? Wow. It's so funny. Does he keep the Repair Bot again, or does he get rid of it now? Is it too late? Or do you keep cycling it?
Well, he does have other scrapping in his deck, and now he's got bombs to get to. Like he's got the Factory World, so like making your deck smaller now, as opposed to making your deck smaller later, has value. So I'd probably scrap it.
Sure.
But it looks like he doesn't seem inclined.
He might. This Trade Row is very...
He does have red cards that he could ally with the Repair Bot.
Sure,
so
that's true.
There is value in that.
I mean, it's essentially the way people describe it, right? It's an Explorer with a scrap ability.
Right. Except that it has the ability to ally with other...
Correct, yes. That is a very important thing to know.
And so that makes it more relevant in his deck than an Explorer would be. Wow. And so the pendulum's starting to swing again.
Yeah, no.
And if Al has, is that a base in his hand? I think it is. Isn't that a central station in his hand?
I didn't quite catch it. He was able to scrap out 2, but that was from his hand, unfortunately. Right. So that's
what's withdrawing all the scrapping cards in your opening hand?
That's the game. 29 to 43.
At least it happened to both of them.
It did, yeah. And Stealth Tower is actually going to go down into the discard pile and maybe not be around for a while.
Right, and if he's got a base in his hand, it's going to stay there because Adam's hand's so bad.
Yeah, you're right. It is Central Station. But does he take? He's only got 2. Does he take Stellar Reef? Does he take the Star Barges? He has 2 Falcons and the Emperor's Dreadnought. Do you take the Star Barges?
Yeah, you've already got 2 Falcons, and as you say, the Emperor's Dreadnought.
Yeah. And the Wrecker's going to be scrapping out. I'm sure he's concerned. I mean, he doesn't know what we can see here. He might be concerned. He's going to let it go
because he's like, well, the board's bad.
He didn't even play it.
Well, that doesn't. I mean, what? That doesn't make any sense to me. He's worried about Lancer?
What does he think? Yeah, he might be
29. He's worried about Lancer.
This is a situation where I think there's an overthinking that's happening. I think he may have overthought that. Solar Skiff's missing
a central office. That would be central station. Excuse me. That would. Wow.
That's an interesting play from Al.
Yeah, I think he, as you said, he overthought it. And in an effort to be tricky, he tricked himself.
I think that's the only thing that he would have been thinking, right? He was afraid of giving the extra damage, but it's only 1 extra damage. He's not going to die. He's not going to die with 28 at this point. I mean, I don't think. Oh, is he worried about Stealth Tower? I was going to say, is he worried about Stealth Tower copy? That's in the discard pile.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I mean, obviously, he didn't know his opponent had such a terrible hand, but still.
So now here's I think I saw another yellow. Is he going to faction that off and cycle his deck and send these, or is he going to? Yeah, he does have the Lancer. He's going to play it. He's going to cycle these cards.
Well, so Al isn't triggering the Lancer,
right? So he's not triggering the Lancer.
But I don't know that was worth it.
Right. Yeah, I think maybe it's just a little too early to be thinking that way.
So
maybe
he's going to buy something before triggering the ally ability to draw a card.
Smart. Is there something out there that you would want?
He decided not to trigger it because he didn't want all those cards to miss the shuffle. Now, see, that's an advanced play that I can get behind here.
Yeah,
right? Because that was some really good cards.
Right.
I think Alex's play might have been a little too advanced, but Adam's advanced play, I'm down with that.
So for those who don't understand, if you have a discard pile and then you get to the end of your discard pile, you're going to shuffle all the cards when you need to draw, and you're going to draw from them. Any cards that are in play at that point, when the turn ends, are going to go into the discard pile, and they're going to miss one of the uses for cycling 2 decks. So he chose not to use the ability of one of his cards so that he could get all those cards again instead of skipping them when he shuffled his deck.
Right, because unlike the main ability of the card, the ally ability is optional.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, smart play. And 16 to 39 in control here. I imagine maybe getting rid of this Falcon for a double discard just to try to control as much as possible.
Right, he's trying to get the expensive cards out of the trade row.
Man, this trade row.
He knows that Adam's got more trade.
This trade row is rough.
At least he's going to hit for a lot, but he is pretty far behind.
Yeah.
Oh,
so he is going to scrap that.
Another card, which
and that's good use.
It's going to be something useful.
Good use. Solar Skiff, another use for Solar Skiff.
You get right. Yeah. The good news for Adam is I don't think he has another blue card in his hand, so losing Solar Skiff here isn't the end of the world. Adam's been trying to hit him now when he's at 16. And Solar Shift wasn't going to do that.
Right. That's 2 over. Okay. Not going to use that.
Just
so that's
pounding.
Wow.
No purchase. It's just a matter.
That's 14 though. That brings Al down to the ropes. Down to the ropes. I don't even know if actually that central station would have made a difference depending on the draws here.
Well, it would have sucked up some damage.
It would have sucked the 5 damage. You're right.
Not to mention he would have drawn an extra card.
He would have drawn the card from the Solar Skiff. No, you're right.
So
I totally forgot about the Solar Skiff.
Changed the whole game.
It could have. No healing. He doesn't have any authority gain. So whatever he's putting up, his central station isn't protected from any damage.
Yeah.
That's going to go straight through. And we see some cards over there.
Right. He's going to make him discard 2, presumably, but it's not going to matter. Like, if he's got 2 damage, he's got 2 damage, and making him discard 2 cards is not going to...
He could fish for maybe some Morning Beacons to come up, if that would even be enough.
Yeah, but I think that's a perfectly reasonable strategy for where he's at, because he doesn't have many other options.
I mean, he's got Central Station.
But it looks like he's not going to do that.
I mean, at this point, I think you got to throw that. Yeah, I think you got to throw up that prayer. Wow. Plays the Patrol Cutter, that's going to be enough. They don't play the Overkill.
Wow, so Adam skipping out on the early Solar Skiff did not pay any price for that.
Look at what happened, right?
That turn with the Factory World and the Stealth Tower was huge, I think.
Yeah, that was a huge turn. And it was... So he had 2 Falcons early. I think the Factory World just did too much work.
And Adam's also fortunate that neither of those Falcons came up at the time he bought the Emperor's Dreadnought.
Yes,
because that could have been huge as well.
Yeah, Emperor's Dreadnought did not go into hand, which is an ability it has if you play a Star Empire card on that turn.
And an Emperor's Dreadnought going to your discard pile isn't nearly as powerful. Okay, It looks like we're looking over at Amanda and Dave now.
Yeah. As you can see on the top, Amanda 1-1, Dave 2-0, Amanda at 33, and 22 authority for Dave. Make that 14 as the hit comes in. Close match. There's a bike in there, and that's a card I really like. This is vanilla. This is the base set, by the way.
Yep, a little bit of an uphill battle for Dave here.
2 starters to cycle, though. Draws 2 starters. Excellent.
Well, it gets him closer to his good stuff, I guess. Mm-hmm. And he's got some blobs in hand. So
looks like he's got the draw
to make the score a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and once again, this trade row right here. Most of the games we've been seeing, actually, people seem to be pretty aware of the trade row, and as the game gets later, they're not taking cards just to take them. Mm-hmm. They're smart about understanding, like, I don't want to take these cards. But early games, we saw at the Solar Skiff, maybe maybe it's a little bit different. It's like, no, take the Solar Skiff.
But for the most part, if you're 2-0 or whatever in this tournament, you're definitely not a beginner. Like, you have some idea of the more advanced strategies.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Like we saw that with the choosing not to use that ally ability for the card draw.
Right,
there.
yes. Ooh, that's a good card. Oh, wow. Oh, she's got cards.
She's got a lot
Imperial
of
Frigate's a really good. Did you know Imperial Frigate's a really good card, man?
That might be the best. I've heard rumors.
Two of them, even better. And that's
so. It's interesting. She didn't even wait for him to discard one card before she played the second frigate. She's just she sees how the writing's on the wall here for him.
Yeah, it just changes over to 0. There's this part of me that's itching for her to do the overkill, to go for it. Get that Dreadnought scrapped out. Scrap out both Imperial Frigates, draw 2 cards.
Digital, you know she's
right, exactly. No, it's true. Maybe on the table it's not quite as kosher, and I can understand that. But good game. Amanda's
looks like Dave's not going to 3-0.
No, they're both going to go up to 2-1. And in the Swiss format, of course, that's still very viable for top 8.
Looks like the Star Empire served Amanda well.
Yes. And in vanilla, a lot of people consider Star Empire a bit weak. I am not necessarily one of those, but it's always great. I love watching Star Empire. Do work in the vanilla format. I mean, in Colony Wars, it got a lot of help. It was awesome.
I think that Star Empire in the base set got a bad rap.
I think so.
Partly because people take powerful cards like Recycling Station, and they don't think of it as a Star Empire card. They just think of it as, this card helps make my deck better. It doesn't matter.
Almost a neutral card, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And people are taking Imperial Frigate whether they're in yellow or not type
thing. Yes.
So I think that, obviously I'm a little biased since I designed the game.
No way.
But I felt that the factions were more balanced than people give them credit.
Sure.
But no matter what you do in a game like this, people are going to try and decide, this faction's better than another, and they're going to have their opinions.
Yes, 100%.
And they're entitled to them.
yes, and that totally makes sense. Yeah, I think the power of discarding cards is just really incredible. And so Star Empire is the only one that can directly control your opponent's deck in that way.
Right. Well, that's one of the more interesting parts of the design process with discard is making it so that discard is powerful enough to actually impact the outcome of games, and yet doesn't so frequently make people discard like 3, 4, 5 cards that it's ruining their play experience, right?
Yes, right.
You want it to be very rare when something like that happens. So it's exciting for the person who made it happen, but it's not constantly breaking the heart of the other player.
Right. Yes.
So that was one of the things that we spent a lot of time on was making sure that every set has the right amount of discard, not too much.
Right. So
and we'd err on the side of having too little, I guess.
Right. Yeah. So not having the Imperial Frigate caused a primary ability to discard 3 cards.
Yeah, for example.
Although no, we don't need it. We don't need to go into that. But so we are going to take another break, but we'll be back with some more Star Realms action. So you guys stick around. This is Legend Series. We're going into round 4 of the Swiss bracket, and then we will have the single elimination best of 3 bracket for the top 8 when we in a couple more rounds. Yeah. So stick around, guys. Sure. But remember, 3 damage from